All right, let's do this. Hey, friends. I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. I did. Thanks for asking. For Thanksgiving this year, my family and I went to go see Moana 2 in theaters, and I had a lot of fun. It was a good time. I even got, look at this, I even got this special Moana 2 cup. You probably can't see it, but it's pretty cool. It's got like a boat on top of it, Moana's new boat. And I got this popcorn bucket too. And then that's just a gummy packet from Walmart. Do you like my decor? I think it's kind of neat. So I went to see the movie, and it's grown on me over the few days since I've seen it. Coming out of the theater, I was like, I don't know. It's okay. But it's definitely grown on me. I think the songs have grown on me, the characters have grown on me, and the story itself. I think with sequels of movies you love, you have to give a bit of leeway because it's never going to be as good as you want it to be. It just isn't. And so I think you have to go in and try to your best to enjoy it for what it is. And I think it took me a couple days, but I'm realizing how much fun it actually is. And I would watch it again. Going through the clips for editing purposes, I've really enjoyed just watching the movie again. The adventure is fun. I think the visuals were still great. The story was fun, not as impactful to me as the original story was, but you know, it's fun. It's a good adventure. It's just an adventure in this world. And I think that was fun for me. What else? Moana and Maui are back, and I think that this movie handles their characterizations very well.
This is serious!
Is something distracting you?
It very much knows it's a sequel, and I like that. Like, referencing the previous movie. They do that often.
Now I kind of miss the lava monster.
One of my pet peeves about sequels is when they just don't acknowledge the previous movie at all. It's like, wait a minute. Didn't you just do like a huge crazy adventure and you're not even going to talk about that at all in this one? Okay, whatever. The characters and the creatures in the first movie are expanded on, like Moana's ancestor gets more to do here, and the Kokomori, who I thought were kind of a weak point in the first movie. They just were there and then not. But now they get a lot more to do and they get a little bit of a backstory. And I think that is fun. I liked the Kokomori in this movie more than I did in Moana 1. So, you know, that was impressive. And speaking of things that this movie did better, it was funnier than the original. If you've seen my previous video, you know that I didn't mention the fact that the first movie even made jokes at all because I don't think that the first movie is very funny.
Maui's fish hook. Sorry. I thought you were a monster.
There are funny moments in it, but I think that I wouldn't praise it for its comedy. This one is quite a bit funnier. That is because they added 3 new characters whose sole purpose was comedy relief. So yeah, I would hope it is funnier, but it is. The jokes landed, is what I'm trying to say. I thought it was funny. And yeah, it was funny. It was a funny movie. Something that this movie didn't do as well, though, was the music. They didn't get Lin-Manuel Miranda back for this one.
Get out of our face, or we'll chew you like gum.
And you can tell. The music is different and worse. It's not bad. I'm not saying the music is bad by any means. It's good. I think a lot of the songs are good, but they aren't as good as the original. So that sucks. But some parts of them are really good. Like there's a couple parts in both the villain song and Maui song that I'm like, wow, that is impressive. Moana, Moana, I'm gonna be Moana. And something else I noticed that isn't really it doesn't have to do with the music, but it kind of does, is the way that they transition in and out of song is done worse here.
And thank you.
Moana 2 has more of a theatrical spirit to it. I think the poses that Moana does, or all the characters do while singing, the way they transition in and out of song, the way that the songs don't actually contribute to the plot is something that I really dislike. It's like, okay, the plot's going to stop for a minute and we're going to have a song. I think that something that Moana 1 does really well is that the songs work to move the plot forward. Whereas in this one, the plot just stops. It's like, nope, plot, hold on, we're going to sing for a minute. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely off base and Moana 1 is just as awful as Moana 2 in that aspect, but it felt different to me, and I hope that you can see it in the clips. Okay, so we got some new characters in this movie. You got the 3 new crew members, which I liked. 2 of them. By the end of the movie, I liked all of them. But one of them in the beginning is just really annoying.
Oh, yes! Brand new, sleek, double hull design. My best canoe yet. Sweet! Top of the line upgrades for the crew.
She just is kind of all over the place and super smart, and that's her thing. And it's like, that's an annoying character thing. It's not funny. It's just, I don't want to see any more of you, you know?
Tastes like coconut.
But like I said, by the end, I liked all of them. I think the other 2 are just funny throughout. I liked both of them very much.
I can't wait till I retire.
Didn't have a problem with them at all. It was just that girl. She was awful. But I think the worst character, she was probably the worst because of how she was annoying. But this other character was the worst as far as her implementation went. It's the Batgirl. I don't know what else to call her. I'm going to call her Batgirl because she's a Batgirl. I don't know. She appeared and I felt like I was watching Hotel Transylvania. She has a different animation style. Like she can fly, which they animate in a, ooh, I'm over here kind of way. And it feels like Hotel Transylvania.
It's been a while since I've seen a wayfinder. Love the ore. The human who's got all the gods talking.
I didn't like that aspect of her. And also she is in it and then has a song and then is not in the rest of the movie. And that's why I say her implementation was really bad. She just showed up and was gone. So I didn't like her very much, but her song was you know, it was pretty good.
You've got a chance, so take it. I know you're scared, but life's unfair.
Also, the movie seems to have some sort of weird obsession with her feet. I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed this, but it was strange. She's in it for like 5 scenes, and 2 of them directly reference her feet. Okay? It's not me. I'm not the weird one. They did it. They're the weird ones. The grandma comes back a few times, and I will say, every time she is in it, it is the best part of the movie. She is the best. Every word that comes out of her mouth is amazing. She even calls back the theme of the first movie, which I loved.
I can't see where your story leads, but we never stop choosing who we are.
I'm glad they brought her back for at least a few scenes. They also added a Kokomori as kind of a crew member, which I really liked. Actually, you know what? I think he's on here. Look. You see him? He's on there. I actually liked him a lot. My wife says that she doesn't like him and he reminds her of like a minion. But I really enjoyed his presence. I think he was cool. I know that as a kid, I would have loved him. I loved him now as an adult. So he was cool. I mean, maybe she, I don't know. Yeah, I think this movie did a lot of good stuff with the Kokomora. Kokomori? Kokomora. Kokomori. I don't know.
Cockham.
I think they did a lot of good stuff with them. Improved their characterizations a lot. And they have this little chant. Boom, ba-dum, boom. Probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when they do that chant as the Kokomora crew member kind of sacrifices himself to save the mothership. It's a cool scene. It's one of the coolest scenes in the movie. When I first heard about Moana 2, I was very surprised because they had also just announced the live-action Moana. So it's like they're making a live-action Moana and a Moana 2. And the reason they did that is because Moana 2 was supposed to be a Disney Plus show. And then they were like, nope, let's make it a movie instead. And I think because of that, some of the editing is really strange. I say some of the editing, but really I'm just referring to one scene in particular where Maui shows up. Or like Maui, he's been in the movie previously, but this is when the crew of Moana's ship meet Maui for the first time. So the crew falls into this hole, and then one of the characters looks up and sees something. And then we pan over, and Maui looks directly at the camera, boom, and he says,
Can I get a chee-hoo?
like he's addressing the character. But then Maui just isn't talking to him.
Yeah! Woo! Now I just gotta get my baby.
It's pretty obvious they either were editing 2 episodes of the show together at this point and they didn't know how to do it, so they just put that in there, or they put that in there specifically for the trailer and then just kind of forgot to edit it in a way that made sense. Also, we don't even get to see him escape. First he's trapped, then we cut to this scene and he's no longer trapped. He's tied up, then he's not. We don't see that. They don't show it. So, I don't know. It's just a really strange editing choice. And while I was watching the movie, I was like, did I miss something? Like, was I not paying attention and I missed something here? No, it's just really, it's edited in a really weird way. So at the end of the movie, I was talking about the Batwoman earlier, and by the end of the movie, she does return, but only for an end credits scene. I had completely forgotten about her at this time. I was like, oh, right, she's in this movie. But she returns, and it seems to me that they are setting up a third Moana movie. Or maybe a Moana show. But considering they made this show into a movie, I would think they would do another movie. And it's doing really financially successfully. Financially successfully? It's doing successfully financially. I don't know. So it seems like they're going to make a third movie, which I'm excited about, having seen Moana 2. This world that they've created is great for adventures. It's just a fun world to be in with these characters. They haven't announced a third movie, but why would they put that scene in if they aren't going to make one? I don't know. So I think probably my favorite part of the movie, and definitely the emotional climax of the movie, is when Moana dies. She gets struck by evil god lightning, and it's a beautiful scene. It really is. So they do that. Maui sings a song for her and revives her, and she gets a tattoo, which I think means that she's a demigod now, which is awesome. I'm waiting for my dog to walk. He makes tip-taps, so I can't talk while he's tip-tapping. So she's going to be a demigod for the third movie, which I'm super excited about. Her oar becomes like Maui's fishhook. I'm kind of a huge sucker for legendary artifacts, heirlooms, just items of immense value, like Luke's lightsaber or the Spear of Leonidas from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I just love legendary items. So when Moana's oar gets like imbued with god power, I was pretty hyped. And she gets a tattoo as well. I was kind of worried that they weren't going to ever show it as just a normal tattoo. It was gold and glowing for a really long time, and I was like, are they not going to show her with a tattoo? But they did. I didn't think they would because of, it's a Disney princess, so it seems to me like morally they wouldn't want to show that, but they did. This is actually, I think, the first Disney princess to have a tattoo. Princess, I say again.
Still not a princess.
Well, a lot of people think you are.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot to love here about this movie. I think that, like I said, it is not as good as the first one, but it's not bad. I will definitely watch this one again. I like it. If I'm going to watch Moana 1, I'll watch Moana 2 after it, because it's just another adventure in this world with these characters that I love. And it's fun. As time passes, I like this movie more and more. I might be a little biased because I got these treats and I went with my family, but it's grown on me. And I think the fact that it's grown on me means that I do, in fact, actually like it. If it had gotten... What's the opposite of grown on? I don't know. If it had decayed off of me, then I... What? Decayed off. Wow. If it had decayed off of me, then I probably wouldn't be praising it now. But I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know. Do I love the movie? Maybe I do. It's fun. It's fun, and I have good memories of watching it, so maybe I do love it. I don't know. Anyway, bye, friends. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. I think I've got a Star Wars video coming out soonish, so that'll be fun. Oh, I will say I liked Moana throughout this entire movie. I know in the first movie I said I didn't like her for parts of it. In this one, she's grown. She is someone who I like just 100% throughout this entire movie. I like Moana now. She's awesome. Umakunoko ye makuno ye o manoa e manoa ya.